This week's Torah portion is entitled Vayikra, which is translated to "And he called." The Torah portion is taken from the book of Leviticus, chapter 1, verse 1 through chapter 6, verse 7. The Tanakh is taken from Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 21 through chapter 44, verse 23. And the apostolic portion is taken from the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 23 through 30. Leviticus 1. And Jehovah called to Moshe, and spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When any one of you brings an offering to Jehovah, you bring your offering of the livestock, of the herd, or of the flock. If his offering is a burnt offering of the herd, let him bring a male, a perfect one. Let him bring it at the door of the tent of meeting, for his acceptance before Jehovah. And he shall lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted on his behalf to make atonement for him. And he shall slaughter the bull before Jehovah. And the sons of Aharon, the priest, shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood all around on the altar, which is at the door of the tent of meeting. And he shall skin the burnt offering and cut it into its pieces. And the sons of Aharon, the priest, shall put fire on the altar, and lay the wood in order on the fire. And the sons of Aharon, the priest, shall arrange the pieces with the head and the fat on the wood, which is on the fire on the altar. But its entrails and its legs he washes with water, and the priest shall burn all of it on the altar as a burnt offering, an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Jehovah. And if his offering is from the flock, from the sheep, or from the goats as a burnt offering, let him bring a male, a perfect one. And he shall slaughter it on the north side of the altar before Jehovah. And the sons of Aharon, the priest, shall sprinkle its blood on the altar all around. And he shall cut it into its pieces, with its head and its fat, and the priest shall arrange them on the wood which is on the fire on the altar. But the entrails and the legs he washes with water, and the priest shall bring it all and burn it on the altar. It is a burnt offering, an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Jehovah. And if the burnt offering of his offering to Jehovah is of birds, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or young pigeons. And the priest shall bring it to the altar, and shall wring off its head, and burn it on the altar, and its blood shall be drained out at the side of the altar. And he shall remove its crop with its feathers, and throw it beside the altar on the east side, into the place for ashes. And he shall split it at its wings, but not sever it. And the priest shall burn it on the altar, on the wood that is on the fire. It is a burnt offering, an offer made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Jehovah. Leviticus 2. And when anyone brings a grain offering to Jehovah, his offering is to be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil on it, and put frankincense on it. And he shall bring it to the sons of Aharon, the priest, and he shall take it from his hand filled with fine flour, and oil with all the frankincense. And the priest shall burn it as a remembrance portion on the altar, an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Jehovah. And the rest of the grain offering is for Aharon and his sons, most set apart of the offerings to Jehovah by fire. And when you bring as an offering a grain offering baked in the oven, it is of unleavened cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, or unleavened thin cakes anointed with oil. But if your offering is a grain offering on the griddle, it is of fine flour, unleavened, mixed with oil. Divide it into bits and pour oil on it. It is a grain offering. And if your offering is a grain offering in a stewing pot, it is made of fine flour with oil. And you shall bring to Jehovah the grain offering that is made of these, and shall present it to the priest, and he shall bring it to the altar. And the priest shall take from the grain offering a remembrance portion, and burn it on the altar, an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Jehovah. And the rest of the grain offering is for Aaron and his sons, most set apart of the offerings to Jehovah made by fire. No grain offering which you bring to Jehovah is made with leaven, for you do not burn any leaven or any honey in an offering to Jehovah made by fire. Bring them to Jehovah as an offering of the first fruits, but they are not burned on the altar for a sweet fragrance. And season with salt every offering of your grain offering, and do not allow the salt of the covenant of your Elohim to be lacking from your grain offering. With all your offerings you bring salt. And if you bring a grain offering of your first fruits to Jehovah, bring for the grain offering of your first fruits green heads of grain roasted on the fire, crushed heads of new grain. And you shall put oil on it, and lay frankincense on it. It is a grain offering. And the priest shall burn the remembrance portion from its crushed grain and from its oil, with all the frankincense, an offering made by fire to Jehovah. Leviticus 3. And if that which he presents is a peace offering, if he is bringing it of the herd, whether male or female, he brings a perfect one before Jehovah. And he shall lay his hand on the head of his offering, and slaughter it at the door of the tent of meeting. And the sons of Aaron, the priest, shall sprinkle the blood on the altar all around. And from the peace offering he shall bring an offering made by fire to Jehovah, the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them by the loins, and the appendage on the liver, which he removes with the kidneys. And the sons of Aaron shall burn it on the altar upon the burnt offering, which is on the wood, which is on the fire, as an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Jehovah. And if that which he presents is from the flock, for a peace offering to Jehovah, male or female, he brings a perfect one. If he is bringing a lamb as his offering, then he shall bring it before Jehovah, and shall lay his hand on the head of his offering, and slaughter it in front of the tent of meeting. And the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle his blood on the altar round about. And from the peace offering he shall bring near, as an offering made by fire to Jehovah, its fat, all the fat tail which he removes close to the backbone, and the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them by the loins, and the appendage on the liver, which he removes with the kidneys. And the priest shall burn them on the altar as food, an offering made by fire to Jehovah. And if his offering is a goat, then he shall bring it before Jehovah, and shall lay his hand on its head, and slaughter it before the tent of meeting. And the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle its blood on the altar all around. And from it he shall bring his offering, as an offering made by fire to Jehovah, the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them by the loins, and the appendage on the liver, which he removes with the kidneys. And the priest shall burn them on the altar as food, an offering made by fire for a sweet fragrance, all the fat belongs to Jehovah. An everlasting law throughout your generations and all your dwellings. You do not eat any fat or blood. Leviticus 4. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, When a being sins by mistake against any of the commands of Jehovah, which are not to be done, and shall do any of them, if the anointed priest sins, bringing guilt on the people, then he shall bring to Jehovah for his sin which he has sinned a young bull, a perfect one, as a sin offering. And he shall bring the bull to the door of the tent of meeting before Jehovah, and shall lay his hand on the bull's head, and slaughter the bull before Jehovah. And the anointed priest shall take some of the bull's blood, and bring it to the tent of meeting. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle some of the blood 7 times before Jehovah, in front of the veil of the set-apart place. And the priest shall put some of the blood on the horns of the altar of sweet incense before Jehovah, which is in the tent of meeting, and pour all of the blood of the bull at the base of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tent of meeting. Then he takes all the fat of the bull as a sin offering, the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat which is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them by the loins, and the appendage on the liver, which he removes with the kidneys, as it was taken from the bull of the peace offering. And the priest shall burn them on the altar of the burnt offering. But the skin of the bull, and all its flesh, with its head and in legs, its entrails and dung, all of the bull, he shall bring outside the camp to a clean place, where the ashes are poured out, and burn it on wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out, it is burned. And the entire congregation of Israel strays by mistake, and the matter has been hidden from the eyes of the assembly. And they have done against any of the commands of Jehovah, which are not to be done, and shall be guilty. When the sin which they have sinned becomes known, then the assembly shall bring a young bull for the sin, and bring it before the tent of meeting. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands on the head of the bull before Jehovah, and the bull shall be slaughtered before Jehovah. And the anointed priest shall bring some of the bull's blood to the tent of meeting. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before Jehovah, in front of the veil, and put some of the blood on the horns of the altar, which is before Jehovah, which is in the tent of meeting, and pour all the blood at the base of the altar of burnt offering, which is at the door of the tent of meeting. Then he takes all the fat from it, and shall burn it on the altar. And he shall do with the bull as he did with the bull as a sin offering. So shall he do it. And the priest shall make atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. And he shall bring the bull outside the camp, and burn it as he burned the first bull. It is a sin offering for the assembly. When a ruler sins, and by mistake has done against any of the commands of Jehovah his Elohim, which are not to be done, and shall be guilty. Or if his sin which he has sinned is made known to him, then he shall bring as his offering a buck of the goats, a male, a perfect one. And he shall lay his hand on the head of the goat, and slaughter it at the place where they slaughter the burnt offering before Jehovah. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and shall put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and pour its blood at the base of the altar of burnt offering, and burn all its fat on the altar, like the fat of the slaughtering of the peace offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him for his sin, and it shall be forgiven him. And if any being of the people of the land sins by mistake, by doing against any of the commands of Jehovah, which are not to be done, and shall be guilty, or if his sin which he has sinned shall be made known to him, then he shall bring as his offering a female goat, a perfect one, for his sin which he has sinned. And he shall lay his hand on the head of the sin offering, and slaughter the sin offering at the place of the burnt offering. And the priest shall take some of its blood with his finger, and shall put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and pour all the blood at the base of the altar. Then remove all its fat is removed from the slaughtering of the peace offering. And the priest shall burn it on the altar for a sweet fragrance to Jehovah. And the priest shall make atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. And if he brings a lamb as his sin offering, he brings a female, a perfect one. And he shall lay his hand on the head of the sin offering, and slaughter it as a sin offering, at the place where they slaughter the burnt offering. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and shall put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and pour all the blood at the base of the altar. Then he removes all its fat, as the fat of the lamb is removed from the slaughtering of the peace offering. And the priest shall burn it on the altar, according to the offerings made by fire to Jehovah. So the priest shall make atonement for his sin that he has sinned, and it shall be forgiven him. Leviticus 5. And when a being sins in that he has heard the voice of swearing, and is a witness, or has seen, or has known, but does not reveal it, he shall bear his crookedness. Or when a being touches any unclean matter, or the carcass of an unclean beast, or the carcass of unclean livestock, or the carcass of unclean creeping creatures, and it has been hidden from him, he is unclean and guilty. Or when he touches uncleanness of man, any of his uncleanness by which he is unclean, and it has been hidden from him, when he shall know it, then he shall be guilty. Or when a being swears, speaking rashly with his lips to do evil, or to do good, whatever it is that a man swears rashly with an oath, and it has been hidden from him, when he shall know it, then he shall be guilty of one of these. And it shall be, when he is guilty of one of these, then he shall confess that in which he has sinned. And he shall bring his guilt offering to Jehovah for his sin which he has sinned, a female from the flock, and a lamb or a female goat as a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him for his sin. And if he is unable to bring a lamb, then he shall bring to Jehovah, he who has sinned, 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. And he shall bring them to the priest, who shall bring near that which is for the sin offering first, and wring off its head from its neck, but not sever it. And he shall sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the altar. It is a sin offering. And he shall prepare the second as a burnt offering, according to the right ruling. And the priest shall make atonement for him, for his sin which he has sinned, and it shall be forgiven him. But if he is unable to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he who has sinned shall bring for his offering 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a sin offering. He puts no oil on it, nor does he put any frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering. And he shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his hand filled with it as a remembrance portion, and burn it on the altar according to the offerings made by fire to Jehovah. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him, for his sin that he has sinned in any of these, and it shall be forgiven him, and it shall be the priest like a grain offering. And Yahovah spoke to Moshe, saying, When a being commits a trespass and has sinned by mistake against the set-apart matters of Yahovah, then he shall bring to Yahovah as his guilt offering a ram, a perfect one, one from the flock, with your valuation in shekels of silver according to the shekel of the set-apart place, as a guilt offering. And he shall make good for the sin that he has done against that which is set apart, and shall add 1/5 to it, and give it to the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the guilt offering, and it shall be forgiven him. And when any being sins, and has done what is not to be done, against any of the commands of Yahovah, though he knew it not, yet he shall be guilty, and shall bear his crookedness. Then he shall bring to the priest a ram, a perfect one, from the flock, with your valuation, as a guilt offering. And the priest shall make atonement for his mistake he committed unintentionally, though he did not know it, and it shall be forgiven him. It is a guilt offering. He was truly guilty before Yahovah. Leviticus 6:1-7. And Yahovah spoke to Moshe, saying, When any being sins and committed a trespass against Yahovah, and has lied to his neighbor about a deposit, or about a pledge, or about a robbery, and shall extort from his neighbor, or has found what was lost, and has lied concerning it, or did swear falsely, so that he sins in regard to any one of all these that a man does. Then it shall be, when he sins, and shall be guilty, that he shall return what he took by robbery, or what he has extorted, or the deposit which was deposited with him, or the lost item which he found, or all that about which he swore falsely. He shall repay its total value, add 1/5 more to it, and give it to whom it belongs on the day of his guilt offering. Then he brings his guilt offering to Yahovah, a ram, a perfect one, from the flock, with your valuation, as a guilt offering to the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for him before Yahovah, and he shall be forgiven for whatever he did that made him guilty. Isaiah 43, verse 21-44, verse 23. This people I have formed for myself. Let them relate my praise. But you have not called on me, O Jacob, for you have been weary of me, O Israel. You have not brought me the sheep for your burnt offerings, nor have you esteemed me with your slaughterings. I have not caused you to serve with grain offerings, nor wearied you with incense. You have not brought me sweet cane with silver, nor have you satisfied me with the fat of your slaughterings. You have only burdened me with your sins. You have wearied me with your crookednesses. I am he who blots out your transgressions for my own sake, and remember your sins no more. Remind me, let us enter into judgment together, relate, that you might be declared right. Your first fathers sinned, and your interpreters have transgressed against me. So I have profaned the chief ones of the set-apart place, and I have delivered up Jacob to the curse, and Israel to scorn. But now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus said Yahovah, who made you and formed you from the womb, who helps you. Do not fear, O Jacob, my servant, and Yeshurun, whom I have chosen. For I pour water on the thirsty, and floods on the dry ground. I pour my spirit on your seed, and my blessing on your offspring. And they shall spring up among the grass like willows by streams of water. One says, I belong to Jehovah. Another calls himself by the name of Jacob. Another writes with his hand, unto Jehovah, and names himself by the name of Yisrael. Thus said Jehovah, sovereign of Israel, and his Redeemer, Jehovah of hosts. I am the first, and I am the last. Besides me there is no Elohim. And who is like me? Let him call and declare it, and lay it before me, since I appointed the everlasting people, and the events that are coming, and those that do come. Let them declare these to them. Do not fear, do not be afraid. Have I not since made you hear and declared it? You are my witnesses. Is there an Eloah beside me? There is no other no other rock. I know not one. Those who made an idol, all of them are emptiness, and their delights do not profit, and they are their own witnesses. They neither see nor know, so that they are put to shame. Who would form a mighty one or cast an idol that is of no value? See, all his companions are ashamed, and the workmen, they are but men. Let them all be gathered together. Let them stand up, let them fear, let them be put to shame altogether. The craftsman in iron with the tools works one in the coals, and fashions it with hammers, and works it with the strength of his arms. Even so, he shall be hungry, and has no strength. He drinks no water, and is weary. The carpenter stretches out his rule. He outlines it with chalk. He fashions it with a plane, and he outlines it with the compass, and makes it like the figure of a man, according to the comeliness of a man, to remain in the house. He cuts down cedars for himself, and takes cypress and oak, which he raised among the trees of the forest. He has planted a pine, and the rain nourishes it. And it shall be for a man to burn, for he takes some of it and warms himself. He also kindles it, and shall bake bread. He also makes a mighty one, and bows himself to it, has made it a carved image, and falls down before it. Half of it he shall burn in the fire, and this half he eats meat. He roasts a roast, and is satisfied. He also warms himself, and says, Aha, I am warm, I have seen the fire. And the rest of it he makes into a mighty one, his carved image. He falls down before it, and worships, prays to it, and says, Deliver me, for you are my mighty one. They do not know nor understand, for he has smeared their eyes from seeing, and their hearts from understanding. And no one recalls it to his heart, nor is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned half of it in the fire, and I have also baked bread on its coals. I have roasted meat and eaten it, and I shall make the rest of it an abomination. Should I fall down before a log of wood? Feeding on ashes, a deceived heart turns him aside, and he does not deliver his being, nor says, Is there not a lie in my right hand? Remember these matters, O Jacob and Israel, for you are my servant. I have formed you. You are my servant, O Israel. Do not forget me. I shall wipe out your transgressions like a cloud, and your sins like a mist. Return to me, for I shall redeem you. Sing, O heavens, for Jehovah shall do it. Shout, O depths of the earth. Break forth into singing, O mountains, forest, and every tree in it. For Jehovah shall redeem Jacob, and make himself clear in Israel. Matthew 5:23 through 30. If then you bring your gift to the altar, and there remember that your brother holds whatever against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go. First make peace with your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Be well-minded with your opponent promptly while you are on the way with him, lest your opponent deliver you to the judge, and the judge to the officer, and you be thrown in prison. Truly, I say to you, you shall by no means get out of there till you have paid the last penny. You heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone looking at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. And if your right eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out and throw it away from you. For it is better that you lose one of your members than for your entire body to be thrown into Gehenna. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away from you. For it is better that one of your members perish than for your entire body to be thrown into Gehenna.